What's going on, Tamers? Welcome to DigiPod, the digital podcast. I'm your boy Varni with the boys Dan and Mike. What's up?
Yo, what is going on, everyone?
You know what I realized I didn't say last podcast? I didn't say welcome to DigiPod, the digital podcast. I was listening to it and I'm like waiting for it, right? And I'm like, why didn't I just jump straight to my introduction? Where is the signature line? I was so upset with myself. I almost, I tried cutting it out to put it into the podcast, but then I realized it wouldn't have synced up with the video. And I was like, oh gosh, all right, I'm just gonna have to forego it this time. I'll never forget it again.
Hey man, I think that was the same video. I didn't know how to talk clearly.
it was a scuffed video.
Yeah, definitely.
So our agenda for today, number one, of course, we got to talk about locals. And for those of you who are part of the Discord and also part of the Facebook group, you might have stopped in and saw us live stream our locals on Sunday, which I will be trying to do every Sunday or at least the Sundays that I go. No guarantees, but it is something that would be nice to have done every Sunday. So look forward to that. And like I always say, if you're not part of the Discord, please go ahead and join the Discord. Find us on Twitter at not DigiPod anymore. It's DigiGuard United. You'll find all of our links. Lots of good talks always going on in this Discord, bro. Second topic of the day, we're going to talk about our poll results from our last Spotify posting. Number 3, we're going to touch on slow play, the atrocity that is slow playing in this game of Digimon. And then our 2 main topics for today, they kind of go hand in hand. We're going to be talking about our favorite sets and what do we think is the best set, but also we're going to be looking ahead to BT12 and what decks are good, what are we excited for, and stuff like that. So with that in mind, I'll start off first by saying I already did our Discord shill. The second shill is that we have officially commissioned artists to do our playmats. Playmats for our upcoming prizing for tournaments. So if you're not part of the Discord, you know what to do. We got 2 different versions of playmats coming out. We'll unveil it when we get it. We'll unveil it when we get it. We don't even know what the art's gonna be officially. Yeah, it's still in the works, but I can guarantee you it's some spice. It's by a very good playmat artist in the Digimon community. We also have somebody commissioning chibi versions of Dan, Mike, and myself to stick on some card sleeves that we will also be using for prizing for set tournaments. So look forward to that as well. If you guys, I'm just going to say it one more time. I promise to be the last time I say it. No, I'll say it one more time at the end of the podcast. If you're not part of the Discord, go join the Discord. Okay. So, locals, yeah. So I won locals 3-0 with Examon.
This is your first locals you can talk about because you're not on the losing end.
Damn the shade, bro.
I know, right? I mean, to be fair, I've been consistently going to locals for the last 2 months ish.
Yeah.
So
that sounds nice.
This is the first dub I think in a while.
Yeah, it's my first dub in I don't even know how long because it's normally Dan because like I said, first one I've been going to in a minute. I'm normally busy on Sundays, but trying to clear all that up now. But yeah, Examon 3-0 dub. I got to put the deck list in Discord. I haven't gotten to it yet because there's a lot of. I played Examon on a whim. I didn't know what I was gonna play, and I was like, I feel like Examon today. So I just took it out literally when he announced the pairings, and I was like, all right, this is what I'm playing. First match was a mirror. That was fun. I realized I had some cards in the deck that I definitely wouldn't have had in there if I actually looked at the deck. Because I was I saw Avalon's Gate. I saw Samadhi Santi. I was like,
yeah, but you can't even front that Avalon's Gate came in clutch for you in one of those games. I watched you use it.
I'm not gonna lie, yeah, I do like the one of okay, so here's my thing with Examon, right? I feel like I have so much flex spot in it because I play the 12 rookies, 10 champions, 8 ultimates, 7 megas, 4 Exa, 3 Davis. So I have 5 to 6 cards of flex spot. One is a Dexmon, because Dexmon is Dexmon, and that's the spice. I got a Kaiser Nail, because Kaiser Nail is goated.
Good card.
Got a blue memory boost, because it's okay. It's
Searching's
okay
always good.
Searching's always good. Sometimes it gets rid of my green pieces, so yeah. And then I had the Avalon's Gate and the Samadhi because I just didn't know what else to put in. And at the time, you know what it was? At the time, I was planning to beat not Black War Gray. I was planning to beat Dan. I was like, I need a way so I can kick Dan's ass. And Avalon's Gate and Samadhi Santi were the two best ways to do it because I needed a way to tap down my body to tap down his so I could swing into it. But obviously now Black War Gray X is hit, so I probably don't need him in the deck.
I got something brewing for Black War Gray.
Oh, does he now?
It's not really anything that crazy. It's just something I've been wanting to try. That's all.
Ooh, okay. Are you gonna let us in on that?
You know, you talking about
Promo.
Xmon just reminded me that I have a Max Rarity Xmon deck that I haven't played in like 2 months.
I mean, to be fair,
whose man's is this? I swear.
Bro, I literally got the deck, went to locals that weekend, won the locals, and then never touched the deck again.
You know what's funny since you said that? If I were to build Xmon deck because I have everything for it, it would be half max rarity. Everything. For some reason, I have 2 AAs for everything in that deck.
I picked it up. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that I have this entire deck.
I forgot Xmon.
I haven't played it in so long. Well, it's because I went back and I started playing Imperial again.
Imperial's a fun deck still. I got mollywopped by that. Yeah. But
it's all right.
Yeah, so round 1, Examir, Avalon's Gate did come in clutch. Because a lot of people don't know how to navigate the mirror. The mirror is a game of timing. And you don't need everybody's always, they're all gung-ho about using Slayer. And I'm like, there are times that you really shouldn't be using Slayer's effect. There are times you really should just be letting the turn progress and then making use of the fact that he unsuspends after a block or he can evade twice or stuff like that, you know? So I won both games, but second game first game, one game he bricked and the other game was close. So shout out to Harold for the mirror. Second match was
Against me.
Oh, yeah.
Second match was Dan, bro.
Second match was Dan. Poop.deck. I got Suka'd. My poor Slayer was a 3K white Suka. I couldn't DNA. Couldn't even swing for fear of... I didn't have evade because I was a Sukamon and I wasn't a Drummon. So I couldn't even really swing because I couldn't evade anything. So I was like, okay. But Dan just kept hitting my core Drummons in security. And I was like... it is what it is.
When the new mulligan rule works in your favor a little too well.
Yeah,
bro, I was saying, like, I knew from the time, I think that's like the other reason I decided to play it, because I was like, cool, with this new mulligan, like, I'm gonna really see how this deck works. And out of basically 7 games played total, I had 1 bad game, and that was against Cross, in which I didn't open Rookie on the opening hand. I mullied, still didn't see Rookie, and I didn't draw into Rookie. So I had to hard slam, and it went in Cross's favor, essentially. Yes, understand, Mike?
I was gonna ask Dan, were you playing the spicy Digimon in your Sukamon deck? Were you playing Digimon?
No.
No, you weren't. Oh, okay.
Because you need tamers really, and
that's fair.
I know it's just so
Sukamon
spicy.
deck doesn't run many tamers. Period. Unless you forcibly run that many tamers, but like Digimon has to be green or black tamers for it. So like for you to
but
get
that's
it
only
off is kind of
yeah. No, I get it. It's just it's so spicy though. Play a Suka for free, a King Suka for free. I mean, and just
that would work. Yeah.
Maybe, y'all gotta go check out.
I was about to say maybe we need to go into the lab about this one.
Bro, yeah, I only brought it up because I've been messing with some jank. Some absolute jank. So
Probably because I've been playing Tyrannomon and shit. So like,
Yeah.
Probably thinking
Nah,
off
yeah.
of that.
For those of you who aren't following Russ Marrow on YouTube, you should be following Russ Marrow on YouTube because his latest video was what BT13 poop.deck versus
It was more King. It was more Edamon.
Phoenix Mont. Yeah, it was more King Edamon.
Oh yeah, it was King
If he would have
Edamon.
ran King Sukumon, I think he had a
I
W
was-
in there.
I was actually wondering that. I was like, where's the
Easy.
King Sukumon? And as you say it, yeah, you're right. It was an Edamon deck and not a poop dot deck. Cause yeah.
But
'Cause
it still
had the
felt weird
poop.
being an Edamon.
He
deck.
had BT13 like poop stuff. So it was like Platinum Sukumon, the new Chumon from that set. He also had the BT11 Chumon and Sukumons, but like he didn't ran King Sukumon. So like that's why I was like,
And the King Sukumon is just
he
really
would have done
good.
well with it. I think he would have won
Such
with
a
it.
good card.
But like
I agree. Cause
there's nothing you can do about that Zoohow, the Zoocow play. So like,
Oh my goodness, but
about that.
that was outrageous. I was like, there's nothing. You literally like doesn't matter if Chumon's on the field unless you choose to not delete it. But like everything else on the board, that was wild.
Yeah, no, that was a crack. But continue.
Yeah, so that go follow Russ Marrow. That was a really good video to watch. But yeah. So I went 2-1 against Cross, Merva Cross. Merva Cross is scary, bro. I won game one, not
We
like
told you about that.
I know, like the thing is like I'd never played against it. So like I saw Cross and I was like, okay, this is either Cross 7 Cross or Merva Cross. Or a hybrid of the two. There's always the scary things. It's one thing I love about Digimon. It's the scary thing about seeing eggs flip and you kind of never know what you're playing against. Because, like, for example, Black War Gray, right? Unless you see a specifically Black War Gray piece, like not even a Yuya, to be honest, because you can still run Yuya and War Gray X. You can run everything. The only thing that changes really is the top end, right? So you never know if you're facing Black War Gray or War Gray X until you get hit with either one of the two. And that's how I felt about Cross. I was like, I could be facing Merva, Cross 7, or both of them together. So, like, game one, it was just my feel out match. I always use game ones against decks that I don't know necessarily how to play against as my feel out match. I do my best to win it, but I don't get too upset if I lose it because the strategy changes going into game two. Unfortunately, strategy going into game two was to win, but I bricked, and so that was out of the question. Going into game three, I opened double Madoki. And whatever else, literally everything else in hand didn't matter. I was able to play everything else. And then once I established like my Examon and a Slayer, I ended one turn on a double Madoki play because I played a Madoki in game one and it was promptly removed by Durulumon, it was good because instead of going from 3 to 10, they had to play the Durulu off of Akari and then go from 0 to 10. So you exhaust more cards and it means that you can't like you play the Merva, you end up at 3. Like, unless you have like another Gravity Crush or Blinding Ray, which is highly unlikely to be honest, because you already used 4 to 5 of them, you're not going to be able to like effectively aggress. So that's why in my game 3, I saw double Madoki. I said, I don't remember how much Madoki I'm running in this deck. I'm either running 2 or 3. I'm keeping these 2 Madokis in hand. Double Madoki drop. He got rid of both Madokis, but ended up giving me like 6 to 7 memory in the process, which was really good for me because I didn't establish a second Examon. All I needed to do was establish the Breakdramon, which is what I ended up doing. Breakdramon, Examon, something else. And I was able to stave off the attack that he had for me next turn. Because I figured if he was gonna freaking Blinding Ray and Gravity Crush me to death, like I need to suspend as much of the current board as possible. So because I had 2 security left, so I only got hit with the new things coming into play, and I would still effectively have like 2 blocks on Exa while being able to suspend more. So like it's just a really big thing it's a balancing act. Playing Exa, I really feel like Exa doesn't top that often. Because Brick is definitely a thing for sure, but it's a hard deck to play sometimes because the timing of things knowing when you should push for an Exa play. Like I could have given him 7 memory and established an Examon. And instead of doing that, I did something else, whether it was like establish a Slayer or no, I didn't even establish a Slayer. I think I just played another Digimon to search in hopes of pulling into something better. I don't know. Y'all gotta, I mean, any deck you play, right? You just gotta think about your plays. Pretty much like what Dan says, you gotta think about it like 10 steps ahead. You gotta look into the future and think about how they might react to your play. On that topic, we're gonna jump poll results real quick. We're gonna talk about slow play real quick because I took like 6 minutes. I counted it back on camera. I took like 6 minutes for my turn. I hate taking 6 minutes for a turn. The only time I take 6 minutes for a turn is where I'm legitimately like, what the hell do I do? But that 6 minutes came during my game 3. Otherwise, I'm moving quick, right? But it came up. One of our boys, Brendan, he was participating in a GFG. Locals.
Oh, you remembered which one it was this time?
Hey, you got your mouth, Michael. Listen, so our boy, Brendan, he was playing in a GFG local. He was playing against somebody. He said they were playing a Bielsa Purple starter deck.
What happened?
Oh, it was multiple? Okay. Well, damn, that's even worse. He said they were all not slow playing per se, like not purposely slow playing, but like just not moving fast with your plays. I generally say, I think Digimon rules are something like you're supposed to take like 10 to 15 seconds per action. And I generally give 30 seconds upwards to a minute, depending on like the timing of the duel and where we're at, what the board state is, and etc. to let them do an action. Otherwise, I'm like, hey, bro, hurry it up a bit, you know? And unfortunately, Brendan just got hammered by people who were playing slow. And, you know, at locals, it's one thing, right? Because I know nobody's going to get on my back. I'm not going to get on anybody's back if we take longer because, you know, it's locals. It's a little bit more of a casual environment. But when you're enforcing time rules, you need to be vigilant. Vigilant. Yeah, I don't know where that came from. You need to be vigilant about basically your rule enforcing and your judging, right? You need to make sure that players are moving in a timely manner because Brendan said that he did call a judge and the judge just responded to ask nicely. You want to hear me ask nicely? Yo, mother, can you move, please? I'm trying to finish this game. Look, if you already lost, you lost, all right? Like, nah, that would be more Dan's thing. I feel like Dan would be the type to get in somebody's face about about hurrying up during time, like if it came down to it.
I've done it, but not to that extreme.
What's the worst you've done? What's the worst you
tell
said?
him to hurry up. I just tell him like you need to move faster. Like we can't be. We have 2 minutes left. We can win this game. Let's chop this up. Let's move this faster.
Oh, that's so civil. Dan is not civil. Okay, let me just tell you all that. He is not.
I'm a very civil person. Don't do that.
There is a reason Dan is called the toxic one in our community. Okay, let's just get that straight. And
yeah, my bad. I like to keep it real with people, and some people don't like it.
That's essentially what it boils down to. But yeah, slow play guys, like it sucks when stuff like that happens because what we were preaching like the last two or three podcasts is call judge call, make use of that stuff, right? But when you judge call, especially in a my bad, but like especially in a regional setting, in OT Cup settings, like if you see people really like purposely slow playing, you need to call them out on it. Don't even like question it. You need to be like, hey man, you guys. I think the rule is like technically say it once or twice to them, and then you call a judge. I don't know what the actual ruling is, but like I think just more of a common courtesy. Just ask them once or twice, and then then it's like, all right, time to call a judge. Because if they keep doing it, they're doing it on purpose. They're purposely slow playing. They're purposely trying to get the draw off because they can't win or something. Whatever it is, just tell them to hurry up. It's one thing like. Good.
My bad again.
Nah, you're good. You're
I was
good.
about to say, especially with like new mulligan rules, that's gonna add.
my goodness.
That's gonna add like maybe a minute or so of time. So like you need to make sure everybody's on their P's and Q's.
Don't let them shuffle for too long either on that note, right? If you see, like, if you guys are going into a game 3 and there's like 7 minutes left on the clock, don't let them sit there like this. Because they'll do that. They'll do that. They'll purposely take long to shuffle. That's why it's bam, 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 put it down. How'd you like me to cut? I have my stuff set up, and if they're not ready, I'm like, I see how this is gonna go. And you get ready to either say something to them or call a judge, because Mike said it last podcast, you don't mess around with people, bro. Some people legitimately play not to lose. They play for the tie. And I'm competitive. Mike's competitive. Dan's competitive. We don't play for ties. We play to win. The only time I accept ties is like against Dark Knightmon, where like I had 2 matches take like 20 some to 22 minutes. And the last match we were in the middle of playing, and then it went to time. And we're just like, damn, like we just don't, like, all we needed was like maybe like 3 to 5 more minutes to finish the match out. And it's just what it boils down to. But like, if it's a game 2, like some decks, I see people play and they're like, yeah, it's a 1-0 win for me because of the way stupid time rules work in Digimon. And I was like, with that deck? Okay. Even Dennis.
That's why I think they should also change the overtime. I think we are at a point we need to change the overtime rules because the amount of draws this game's having right now, because of the way some decks work. Some decks are, longer combo oriented. Some of them are just in general like a grind out deck like Sekon stuff. I think we need to get to a point where we change the overtime rules. Mm-hmm. And I think this game has ways to fix it where it's a way less amount of draws happening, and fixes like standings and stuff, and makes more sense when it comes to standings.
I agree with that. I think
I think a good way to do it is after time, whoever has, I feel like you can't do most security because that just gives like decks like Sekon auto win. So like, what would you go by?
I think that was my opinion. I know somebody, we had this conversation in the Discord, and they just said
it was either with Leppy or Ray.
It was Leppy, yeah. He was saying just put 5 minutes on the board and that's it. But I was just like, again, that's like, I get what you're saying where you don't have to worry about the turns, you just have 5 minutes, but like there's gotta be something to count or something for a win. Like I get, like my thing was like most security wins, and then people were saying, oh, Sekon will always win. Like, no, I've beaten Sekon within 50 minutes. Not a problem.
Yeah,
you just need to know how to play against the matchup.
You also play a lot of its worst matchup though, which is like, War Gray, Black War Gray, stuff like that. I mean, yeah, but I played other decks and guessing D Reaper and I know
other
what you
decks
mean.
and stuff. But like, it's very plausible. It's very possible to do. You just gotta understand what your matchup and how to play against it. I don't think it's unplayable. The problem is the people who slow play the F out of it. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes it worse. Is those players who are like, come on, Sekon's only like 2 plays max you're doing a turn, and they're over here thinking, taking a whole minute. Do I play Holy Wave or do I play Magnetism? Come on, bro. Like that's all you play is. Or you play Mimi. Congrats. Move on. Hurry up. But it is what it is. I don't really know if the security, the most security is an issue because of Sekon type decks. Then I'm not really sure how do you fix that. I think to me that's the easiest fix, but I don't know.
I mean, I agree. I think that's like the most plausible fix is just most security. My issue with it is just that a lot of these, like, when I think of slow play, like whenever I sit down for a match and I think, oh my god, this is going to be a long game, is when I sit down next to Sekon players or purple players. Sekon, if it goes to time, they have more security. Like, that's just the deck, right? But purple players, bro, oh my god. And now that Beelzemon is tier 1, bruh, I've been playing against so many people who don't like so bad with turns, man. It is just crazy. And I get it, learn the deck and stuff, but like, yo.
Gotta put in that one of Creepymon.
And it's crazy because Beelzemon is like the least thought-provoking purple deck.
It's the most, I think in my opinion, it's like the easiest purple deck to play and understand. You mill your deck out and you combo off. Like, it's not that hard.
And it's just crazy because I still see these motherfuckers taking forever. And I'm like, y'all try to play a deck that requires thinking? like we'd be here all day on game one.
Yeah, I get that way with like Merva, straight purple Merva sometimes.
Yeah, it's bad with Merva, but at least Merva makes sense because
that's what I'm saying.
It's a harder deck to play.
Yeah,
Beelzemon is like the most aggro. It's basically just purple rush. I mean,
it's mill. Okay, I'm at this amount of trash. Gain memory. Gain memory, repeat. Rinse, wash, repeat.
Sec attack. Yeah, exactly. I don't think, especially like now you're running what, like anywhere between 12 to 16 Ifmons. Like the whole point is just play Ifmons, Evo Ifmons. Sometimes you might want Evo a stack, and then the rest you just hard playing the Ifmons off of the grave or something, and you're just swinging with them. And then by the time they're down to anywhere between 1 to 3 security is when you pop off with the Beelzemon plays. So it's like, it's really not that crazy. The issue is when it comes to purple, people don't know how to play them, or they're like don't know how to play purple period from previous iteration of purple decks. Like people are like not scared, but I think people are what's the word I'm looking for? Like they're I guess you could say in a sense purple scares them in a sense because now they have to like think about the plays. If they make one bad play, GG sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Especially like Little Luke back in the day. Like people didn't play that much because it was a deck you need to put a lot of practice in. It's a deck that you need to know all your plays and how to do it. And so people weren't like fond of that deck in that sense, I guess you could put, outside of the select few. And those select few who like put in hours, put in the time, they saw the results. You know what I'm saying? Like any other purple deck is kind of like that too. I remember like my Don Devi deck that was like doing different shenanigans was more like combo heavy in the sense of what I was doing, how I was doing everything, because like I had different tech options for different things, and it was like I had crazy like amounts, not crazy amounts, but I had like a variety of like one-ups sometimes, and it just worked out for that time format for me. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know, me and you, Varni, we put in like the time into practicing that deck to get to at that point where we're like, this is perfect for how I like the deck for now. You know what I'm saying? And some people just don't want to do that with purple. They rather take Crosshair. Crosshair is the most simplest deck in the world. You play a bunch of Tamers, you rookie rush them, GG, you cross into cross 4, cross 3, cross 7, whatever it is, and then you go off, you know what I'm saying? So it's not really that thought intensive compared to purple decks.
I just want to say real quick, for anybody who's listening to us and like you listen to us on a regular basis, I want to say we appreciate you. For anybody who's new to us and they're listening, Mike, Dan, and I are very critical people when it comes to Digimon, just because we're competitive. Like, this is what it boils down to. We're not coming at anybody. We're not saying that you shouldn't play purple. We're not saying that you're a bad, like, we're not saying that like, oh, you're a bad player, you shouldn't play purple. We're not saying like, oh, you play purple, you're slow, like go play something different. Like none of that, right? We're just being we're being objective, or I would say subjective. We're being subjective. We're being true to our feelings. But everything is a learning opportunity. And honestly, like if you were to pop into the Discord and like ask us or talk to us or anything, like we'll give you the tips and the pointers and what you need to know to excel with these decks. So I mean, we even try to do it here on the podcast, right? We're just very critical, and we're very like, it's basically honestly these podcasts, bro. It's the first thing that pops into our mind is what we say. Like, it's why I say some stupid shit sometimes, and then we got to come back and we got to address it the next podcast. Mike says, you know, some stupid
I
shit.
don't say. Wait, I don't know what you're saying about me. Though. I ain't never say nothing.
The poll results speak otherwise. But no, I'm just saying that like I don't want anybody to think. I don't want it to seem like, oh, like these guys just they're so towards new players or this, that, the other. Like, no. If anything, we're not. Like, you come to our locals, bro, we'll be the first one to sit down. We'll play 10 games over with you, teaching you a deck. I pointed out. I mean, I was doing it on stream. We were playing games and I'm like, draw, make sure you do this, make sure you do that. You might want to do that. Don't forget your memory gain. Don't forget this, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, I was playing Gino. He was playing Cross. He dropped a second Mervamon with Ignite and he was only going to gain the 1 memory, but I was like, no, you gained 2 memory because you have the second one in play. Of course, 1, because it is a mandatory effect, but like most people be like, oh, like I get the extra memory, like I'm going to go with it. Listen, if we're not in like a high stakes tournament setting, I have no problem pointing out things that will be beneficial to helping you learn the game. You know, that's the type of player I am. It's the same way that Mike and Dan are. We are very inclusive. We want you guys to learn the game. We just also, we give you guys a real look at how we are as players and what it means to be competitive at times. Like, we may not be...
There's also facts that we're spewing, because like the example I was just giving, like the little loop stuff, that was legit. Like, that was what people would say. Like, people were saying, this is not a deck for new people. This is a deck that for someone who wants to learn the deck and like practice and practice makes perfection, right? And that's one of those decks. It's not like I'm saying that, you know, people are trash with it. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just speaking the facts of what the past shown us. The past shown us people who didn't put in the work and with that type of deck didn't do well. The people who did, Ying Huang, I don't remember his name, I'm sorry.
Ying Huang.
Ying Huang,
also known as just another human.
Yeah, human. He was one of those type of people that took that deck and made it popular because he got first place. But he put hours. He put hours and hours and hours into that deck. It's the same thing with what he did with like OG Mastermind with all those one-of techs and stuff. He made
that's how Mastermind was relevant.
He personalized those decks to his style and it made it work for his liking, and that's the point where we're trying to say. So it's like about those type of decks learning, and not people like, I know how to play Little, but like I didn't put all those hours into like those people were doing for that deck, because I prefer to play other certain decks. So like it's not like I didn't like it. I like it. I brought it to locals myself, and like I did decent with it at the time, and that was cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was it.
Yeah. It's not like an overly critical thing, you know. It's just take us at face value sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, bro, if I were to play Little Threep right now, I haven't touched that deck in months.
Mike, you don't play purple decks.
What do you mean I don't play purple decks, bro? I got 2 right next to me right now.
Mastermind.
I remember teaching the one dude.
Mastermind doesn't count, bro. Come on. Look how much money I've spent on this stupid deck.
You just wanted to flex that, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh no, he was just trying to flex. But I remember teaching, I think it was Ray, because he was like, yo, he was a blue player, and for some reason he was super interested in Lulu, and he bought the deck, and he was playing. I was like, bro, that's not what you do. I was like, here's your A, B, C. Like, this is how you should combo off, which leads to doing whatever, like little shenanigans at the time and stuff. He was like, oh, okay. And like, so I would play against him to play test, and then I was like teaching him on the fly how to do that, how to play that deck and stuff. And with time, he got better with it, but it's just one of those things. The more time, the more practice you get, the better you get with that type of deck. Because with that type of deck, one mistake could kind of really like throw off your whole game. Hey,
listen, so there are some coaches for Digimon on Metafy. Metafy is a really cool platform. Mario's a coach there. Jodabi's a coach there. However, your host of DigiGuard United are also some pretty decent players. So if you ever...
Hey, we could give you advice for free.
And we can give you advice for free. Just pop into the Discord. I
won't even pay you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Just pop into the... All we ask is for your patronage, all right? Just pop into the Discord and say, yo, Mike, Dan, Varney, one of y'all give me the point. It doesn't even matter what deck you throw at us, okay? Because between the three of us, we play quite literally everything. All right, let's get that straight. There's
Everything.
not a deck that the three of us collectively don't play.
I'm playing Phoenix Mon Tribal right now. I'm literally playing everything. You name any deck, I've probably touched it or thought about it.
Secon.
Secon, yeah, I played Secon.
Okay, yeah, that's right. He did play Secon. It was Beyblade.
I played the
Beyblade.
best version of Secon, bro. I played
the OG
Megazoo.
Secon, the red yellow Secon, like in set 4, I think it was.
The Mega Zoo type Secon where you just slam Phoenix Mon and then digivolve into OG Omnimon and delete the board.
Oh, good times.
Those were the good times. But yeah. Let's switch gears here. Just want to go over our poll results from last week since we skipped that one. So I asked the question, and this was in relation to the discussion we had with Lance. Between Metal Garurumon X and pre-ban list Yellow Hybrid, which deck do you think has the edge? I said Malga, Yellow Hybrid, or both are evenly matched. Out of 7 votes, 6 people said Yellow Hybrid, 1 person said both are evenly matched. It's not much to say about that. Also on that note, as I remember it now, Dan and I finally had our Blue Hybrid versus Black or Gray match in which I was promptly smacked up 2-0.
Hey, yo, Mike, what happened on the stream? Let him know. Tell him.
On the stream, bro, Varney got smacked.
Hold on. This man he was petty, right? I had 1 Koji on the field, okay? 1 singular tamer, and he was like, I'll Hades Force for 5 just to get rid of your Koji.
You can't let a degenerate deck like that get away with anything, all right?
Nah,
I'm on his side.
We're gonna have that as a video on YouTube coming up soon. Y'all see, like, I opened kind of cracked. Not in the beginning in game 2, but like game 1, I opened decently. I think it was. Like, it wasn't like the perfect stack, but like it was just a fact that I had 2 Hades Force off the back in my hand, and so like the moment I had a stack and he had board presence, I was blowing it up regardless of what he thought he was gonna do. It was just great. And then like game 2, I didn't open with the Hades Force, but I drew into it like early on, so it was again waiting. And it just what happened in both games. I had Black or Greymon, so I was just popping his tamers immediately, and then go into like I think it was I went to Black or Greymon X.
Yeah, it was always Black or Grey X.
Yeah.
I don't think you really went the Gaiomon. Maybe once.
I don't remember.
But it was
but
Black or Grey.
Yeah, so check that video out soon. We'll post it up soon.
Yeah, we'll be commentating that. So that's that. That's the end of that discussion. Yellow Hybrid versus Melga pre-ban list coming up soon as well. And a comment from Spotify from oh my goodness, I can't speak. From Walker Sikorsky. I think tier 0 just means different things to different people. Some people think it means that only that deck can win unless it's a mirror. Some people think hitting half of the tops in the meta qualifies. I think that's a fair point.
Nah,
but
I think tier 0 is only that deck can win.
That's how I feel.
Tier 0 has always been 1 meter. It's not like a personal thing.
No, let's look at the Digimon community.
When I think of tier 0 decks, I think about Yu-Gi-Oh! Specifically, and I think about entire formats that are named after cards. Dragon Rulers was a tier 0 deck.
Exactly.
There's an entire format called Dragon Ruler format because that was it. Or like I think about like Full Power Spellbook was tier 0. Like
Full
when
Power,
I think about
Pepe, that I think it took 31 out of 32. Yeah. 31 out of 32 top 32 spots, which is crazy. And then they were like, we need to immediately ban this because they knew it was tier 0. Tier 0 again, Spirals. That was like 80% of the top 32 or something like that. We were just in a tier 0 format for Yu-Gi-Oh! Again with what they called? Tier limits. The Ishizu tier limits, that was a tier 0 format. If you're not playing that deck, you're not winning. It was just guaranteed. So like we in Digimon have not really had per se a tier 0 format.
So I think like the thing is, right, and like I understand where he's coming from. This is the problem with, not a problem, but this is the thing with Digimon as a whole. There are so many players that are new to card games, or alternatively people who haven't played Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh, who are playing this game. So they see any deck that is even slightly like high in representation, they're like, oh my goodness, this is a tier 0 deck. The only what would you guys say are the closest tier 0 decks we've had in Digimon? The closest
Blue
Tier zero
Hybrid.
formats was Blue Hybrid and
Yep.
almost
Blue Hybrid.
Lord Amon, but I don't think that was considered. I don't think that was a tier 0.
So
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
for the time, for sure, like it's just the thing of what was BT5 Lord Nightmon. There's, I mean, how many decks could you really play, right? And Lord Nightmon was just extremely efficient.
I mean, BT5, you could play pretty much anything back then. It was just Lord Nightmon was so much faster.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you could like BT5 was a really, I don't care what anyone says, because BT5 was such a long format that it let people play so much stuff that people started coming up with like fun decks. You know, so like with that being said though, yeah, Lord Knight was
it was the
it was just cut
closest,
above.
for sure.
It was the cut above the rest.
Even to an extent, Sarismon, which I know it came over. It was nerfed maybe like 2 to 3 weeks after that came over here, from what I can recall. I didn't play during that time, but like in Japan, like that was a menace, especially best of 1 format, because early days Sarismon, you had 4 HPD, you had 4
Argo,
HPD,
4 Blossom,
and 4 of the really good Argomon that lets you play green level 3 suspended, and then yes, the 4 Blossomon. So your entire level 5 lineup digivolved for free. So you would raise a level 3, go 1 into, did we have 1 cost? Yeah, I think you had like
Stigmon was around.
Stigmon, right? Do you go into a 1 cost level 3, level 4, I should say. You download into any one of your level 5s, and then you go into a Sarismon. And then Sarismon's effect is whenever you would use Digisorption, you can suspend your opponent's Digimon once per turn. So it was extremely oppressive, and especially with 4 HPD, lets you establish Sarismons super easily. I would say those 2 decks for sure are the closest to tier 0 that we've had.
But even though that deck was cracked with what it did, it wasn't even. It still wasn't considered tier 0 in Japan.
You want
It had. It was like 30% win rate higher than like other decks or something like that. I remember there was like a graph they did from the point when Nidhogg came, from before Nidhogg and after Nidhogg, I think it was. And it was like green was like here with like yellow and like other things. And then like everything was like straight, and then Nidhogg came out and then it was like this for green. But it wasn't like it wasn't tier 0 per se. It was just that deck was so ahead of its time in a sense that they were like, we need to, HPD is way too good. HPD is too wild. Argo is too crazy. We need to calm down this deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be honest. The HP is one of those cards.
I think
I'm
that's
just like, what the hell were they thinking?
Yeah, 100%. I think that format could have been a tier 0 because of the trend it was going.
For those of you who are listening and you keep up with Bandai's other games, or you play One Piece, or you've heard of One Piece, y'all want to talk about tier 0. Now, I will put this disclaimer out there and say I don't pay attention too much to the Japanese meta. I know what the Japanese meta is for One Piece, but I've never watched matches or know what it is specifically. So verify, what I have to say with actual One Piece players, because I myself am I'm not like, I sold off most of my One Piece stuff. I only have a couple decks. Whitebeard in Japan was a tier 0 deck. I've heard that said. The reason Whitebeard was a tier 0 deck, One Piece works similarly to Digimon in that you have what is your life. You have 5 life. Whitebeard had 6 life because he was also a 6K leader. But his effect was that at the end of the turn, you add a life to your hand. So he basically takes a life at the end of each one of his turns for being a 6k leader when every other leader is 5k. The reason that deck was so extremely stupidly powerful was because of the one stage card that they had, which is like a field card from Yu-Gi-Oh! Moby Dick, which said when you're at 1 or less life, all your Whitebeard pirates gain 2,000 power or dawn or whatever. So that means your 6k leader is hitting for 8k. That means your 3k things are 5k natively. It's free 2 dawn on all your characters. It's just really good. Combo that in with the fact that Whitebeard was just playing an obnoxious amount of things that would let them survive being at 1 life. Like, there was just no getting past it. And so coming into the English format now, I don't think it's tier 0. I personally would say Zoro is... I can't say either one is tier 0 because based on how I define, like Dan and Mike, tier 0, Zoro's not tier 0. They're just both really good decks, and they're good to the point that they almost push other decks out of the meta. You can, if you're a good player, and this is what it boils down to, if you're a good player, you can win with other decks. But Zoro and Whitebeard are just so oppressive that when they see their stuff, sometimes there's just nothing you can do no matter how good you are, you know? And also the other thing is that, remember, like, the good players will play the best decks. So the good players are out here playing Zoro and Whitebeard. They're not playing the other decks that might not be favorable matchups. And that's the same thing in Digimon. Why go play, I don't know, why try, a perfect example, why try to make SecCon work if I can just play, you know, Crossheart and try to out aggro them, or play basically Crossheart.
Yeah, fair. I don't know. I also think with games like Digimon, One Piece, whatever, we don't really get to see metas develop fully all the time because new sets come out so fast.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's why I said something about BT5 earlier. Like, BT5 was around for so long that people were just playing crazy stuff and having fun. These new formats, I said to Dan, actually the whole chat the other day, BT12 spoilers are coming out. I swear we just got BT11. Like crazy, right? It just feels like 2 months ago we got BT11 already, right? Less than 2 months ago? When did BT11 come out?
We got BT11 in
February.
It was either late February or like early March.
Yeah, no, it was in like mid-February when we got BT11.
Crazy. And BT12 comes out end of this month?
Yes.
In April, yeah. So
Crazy.
it's technically 3 months.
It feels so short. I feel like I say that every time a new set comes out, though. I'm always like, damn, it feels so short.
I mean,
no, we had
it was
time for it to
fast
flesh
for
out.
sure.
The problem is we
But-
didn't have. We're now getting tournaments, I guess, on a regular almost, but we had like the ulti cups, which don't really mean anything in our meta, in a
Not
sense
anymore.
of, because that was a different modified rules and stuff. So like, and then we had Nats. Nats wasn't. I don't think Nats is enough to say this is what the meta is. Because there's only one tournament per.
Really?
Agreed.
Because people
So-
were like, "Oh my goodness, look at Black War Gray, the tier 0 deck."
Yeah, those are dumb comments, but that's neither here nor there. Whatchamacallit.
That's what I mean. We're
So
just
now we're
just realist. We say it for what it is.
We're now getting like regionals and stuff, so like we're gonna see more, but like we won't know fully what it would have been because they already hit Greymon X. Now we're heading into BT12. We won't get a full because Greymon X is again hit, so we won't know if War Greymon is gonna be this most, you know, dominating and polarizing and, you know, meta shifting deck that people claim that it might have been, or Bandai assumes it would have been because it did well in Japan? Question mark? I don't remember. I know it did well, but I don't remember how well it did, I should say.
It was a menace.
Okay, sure.
It was a menace for the entire format.
Okay, that's fine.
So,
we won't get the full
or at
menace
least
out of it.
At least from what I can remember from watching East videos, anytime he did anything BT11, Black or Gray was always in what mega tier, bare minimum ultimate tier. And I think it was mostly the only deck in mega tier when it was. Comparing that to now, where Royal Knights and Shine share mega tier, which I know when Shine comes over here, I know people are gonna call for everything there to be banned, and they're gonna call that a tier 0 deck, and this, that, and the other, and the cycle never ends. The cycle never ends.
Won't. Again, the issue. I'll keep reiterating this. And that we need separate ban lists.
Yeah. You know, maybe I should have put that on my survey that I fill out for their post Ultimate Cup survey today. Please give us separate ban lists. I voiced my discontent with their nerfing of my Examon deck. I voiced that very heavily. But you know, if you guys want to voice your opinion, go fill out Bandai's survey. It's on the Facebook group. It's in our Discord, so go join the Discord. What do you guys with all that talk about previous sets, what do you think's your favorite set so far, at least? And this, like, whether it encompasses the meta or you're just talking about like it brought out like a particular change in the game, you know.
For me, it's a toss-up for me between BT5, which I think was like I think it just changed the game completely. It changed how the game is played so much. It just sped the game up. It added a bunch of really strong cards. I think like when you look at BT5, like that's when cards really started getting more powerful, and you know, power creep, if it's what you want to call it, kind of starts. Like that's when things got a little nutty, and it just sets the tone, right? It sets the tone for the rest of the game, I feel like. Personally, I'm just a big fan of like BT8, mostly because I played a lot of Imperial.
I was gonna say because Imperial,
and
right?
It was like, you know, it's like one of my all-time favorite decks, and I missed playing Imperial like BT2 when it was that BT2, BT3 when
BT3, I think
BT3 when it was on like when it first came out.
Imperial, yeah.
So I played it in BT5 and stuff, but I missed like its heyday. So for it to, you know, get a really big power up in that BT8 format with the starter deck release, like, I don't know, it's probably, I think it's when I started getting a lot better at the game too. You know, like BT5, I was a scrub. That's when I started. I didn't, you know, I was still learning the game. Like I came from other card games, so I picked it up faster, but like Digimon can be kind of complex, so I was scrubbing out a lot in BT5 for sure. BT6, I was, you know, whatever. But by the time BT8 rolled around, I think that's when I really got good at the game.
For me, I don't know, to be honest. Like, I would probably have to say BT7 because I enjoyed Yellow Hybrids so much. SecCon was nice, but y'all know, like Dan and Mike, you guys know, and for those of you who don't know, like I started this game back in BT4. It was at the tail end of Shine domination. It's when Yellow War Gray began being the dominating deck, and I was never really a fan of Yellow War Gray, nor was I Lord Knight. Matter of fact, Dan and I both tried securing store championships with Lord Knight, and we both failed miserably at it. I tried playing a Lord Knight Mastamon version. The very first tournament I took, the store championship I took it to at Gamer's Edge, it dicked me over so bad. I sold that deck that night. No regrets there. For Dan, he had went to another store, got his ass kicked, came to our store, still got his ass kicked with it, and he never played Lord Knight again. Like,
no, I didn't play Lord Knight Masting. I went to that during that time frame. There was two store championships. Went to the Boyerstown one. That's when I used the Lord Knight Masting.
Boyertown.
And then I went like, I don't remember, 2 and 3, 1 and 3. I don't remember what it was. It wasn't shit, like,
bro.
It was terrible for me. And that's when I went that same day went to the store champs with the U-Force and got to the finals with it.
Oh, it was All Force.
Yeah.
That's right, and that's when
Yeah.
Doug got his dub because
Yeah,
Doug was playing
exactly.
Secon. Yeah.
No, he was playing Lord
remember now.
Nightmon.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I was wrong. He was playing.
Yeah, I went through 4
Second
Lord
for the
Nightmon
next
to
one.
U-Force. Not went through, but I played against 4 consecutive, and then I lost on the last one.
Dan out here, the OG All Force player,
Yeah.
taking it all the way to the finals of a store championship.
That was so hard to do.
Yeah, I bet. You didn't have evade back then.
Nah.
But no, so what I was saying is that like I like SecCon, but like there's a reason I don't play it right now. I love Megazoo. I love the idea of here's my 10 drop 13k body, deal with it. If you can't deal with it, I'm digivolving into like Zort Defeat or OG Omnimon or something else that's gonna give me massive presence, right? That's what I used to play. Green, yellow, Megazoo. It was a fun deck. Yellow Hybrid, even though it wasn't a Megazoo deck, it enabled me to play the level 6s that I enjoyed for yellow, which at the time I was playing Serafi and Dynasmon. Oh my goodness, I love Dynasmon. It really just enabled me to play a very control. I mean, it was a control deck, right? It was a control recovery deck, and the level 6s that I was able to use were really just nice tempo pieces for both giving me some aggression or helping stave off certain matchups such as Blue Flare, or just overall being a good all-rounder deck. So my favorite set would probably be BT7 because I'm a degenerate scumbag. Not Blue Hybrid though. Fuck that deck.
Favorite set.
I just
What were you saying,
realized.
Varni?
I said I just realized. I don't know why, but I have a bunch of alt arts for Blue Hybrids. Like, I have 4 Tommy, 4 Koji. I have like 3 Magna Garurumon. I've got the Korikakus and the little stupid bear thing, Kumamon. Like,
Not you disrespecting Kumamon, bro. What?
Right? The coolest one of them all.
I even got like
The
the
one
stupid
that-
ancient Garurumons. Like, I hate ancient
The
Garurumon.
one that stole a name from the real Kumamon.
What?
But yeah, Dan, what's your favorite set?
I don't know. It's so hard. I love almost every set. Almost every
I
set.
just love Digimon. I called Dan
that's
the
me.
Digisimp because he's a simp
Shut
for
up.
Digimon.
No, I have I guess big nostalgia glasses for it. Let's see. I have to agree, but my personal favorite with Mike is PD5. Probably, I think that's what to me BT5 is what would change the game to going to the direction we're at now. The Omnimons, the start of what became like Greymon and Garuru tribal decks.
Yeah,
Having that one
that's
cost
fair.
Greymon in that deck was like game changing. Having Nokia to play a Agumon, so then next turn you can evo to a free Greymon into another middle Greymon within that same turn was kind of like not groundbreaking, obviously not, but that
I mean, it kind of was. It was the first card of
Up-tempo.
its type. Yeah,
that like up tempo for like a Greymon tribal deck is what changed that type of deck at the time, you know. Same thing with Garurumon decks. And then like the Blitz Omnimon was like, that was groundbreaking to me, you know what I'm saying? The first card that had Blitz being able to attack on your opponent's turn. That's
I
the
just
type of
make a
card
comment about
made
that?
Blitz
real quick.
Omni is crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Very good card.
I remember going to a BT5 pre-release somewhere in New Jersey, and like I didn't know because I was just getting into Digimon at the time. I went with Doug and Greg. We were all getting into it. We were super hyped, but I didn't know anything about like the set or anything. Bro, I pulled a Blitz Omni, and I was like, this card's gonna win me games. I was like, this card is busted. I can attack when the counter passes. This is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Can't tell you how many games I did win because Blitz Omni, especially in
100%.
sealed
Goated card.
format where it doesn't matter what level 6 you're on. Like I
Oh,
was
yeah,
like, this
true.
is
in a
this is a
format,
goated
definitely.
card. Yeah, man. And also,
Yeah.
was it Omni Shoutmon or Shoutmon? One of them had Blitz.
Yeah,
I think it was Shoutmon DX,
DX,
right?
yeah. That whole
That one
line
too.
had Blitz.
Oh my goodness,
That
those
was
Blitz
also a
cards
good-
were just.
That was a great
also
deck.
A really solid red deck, honestly.
Yeah. A
What
deck that
else?
gets forgotten about because of how Crossheart is now.
Yeah.
Don't get me
I
started.
wish they would give that old deck some freaking love, dude.
Yeah, definitely. What else was in there? That's when like the real like Diaboromon stuff came out in Armageddon. That was the first level 7 that like canceled other level 7s. Omnion X, still a great card to this day. Zord Defeat, also a really good card. Zord and Cern decks were really good. Zord is what broke Lil Loot, really. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many things. MDF was in that set. That's our first banned card. Like, that was like really cracked in the sense of like the things that like popped out from that set.
Yeah.
But
You know, I have to agree. with
I almost don't disagree with what Lance has said. Yeah, I said BT9 is probably the most goated set because that BT9 broke the game, I think. BT9 did like so many cracked things in the sense when it came out with X antibodies. They dropped Dexmon in it. Alphamon was like such a it made Alphamon decks so consistently great at what it did that it wasn't even like fair in certain situations. It made Metal Garurumon decks busted because of Promo Garurumon going to the Metal Garurumon X, which then went into Melga X. Like that was such a that's groundbreaking. That's that kind of groundbreaking in the sense of like a free evolution is just because you can. You know what I'm saying? That made Greymon tribal decks to the next level of what you could do. You know what I'm saying? With all that protection. That was the worst part of like Greymon tribal decks, right? It was no protection unless you ran ADP or War Greymon BT1. Yep. You don't even need to run that anymore because you inherently have protection. You also have what else is from that set? The Cool Boy X Antibody. You know what I'm saying? Cool Boy is probably top 3 greatest tamers in the game. Honestly,
probably, yeah.
X Antibody is changed the game on when attacking. You can Digivolve. Correct. You know what I'm saying? It made Galamon semi-relevant. You know what I'm saying? It made the deck be able to play. Be able to play because prior to BT9, Galamon was dog shit. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody cared. Nobody's playing that deck well, at least. Like you wasn't doing much with it. Because even EX02 was like the hype for it, and then you realize it's like, oh crap, this is crap. You know what I'm saying? Like not crap, but like you know what I'm saying? Like it just wasn't competing at like tier 1 levels and stuff. Like you know what I'm saying? Like BT9 did so much. Jesmon X came out, and that's no, that was BT10. That was BT10. Never mind. I was about to say that would be even more crack.
You can differentiate it because
or you
Jesmon's
can
the only one that gets free.
Yeah.
X evolution.
Or you can mode like that's the other secret rare. It was so,
oh my goodness. Or you can
that made Alphamon like next level. You know what I'm saying? So that started a wave of the X antibody lines coming out. So like BT10, you got the Jesmon X lines. You have whatever else came out that was X antibody related. I don't think it was much. BT11, we got the whole Black World Greymon X line, and we saw what the potential of combining what like Greymon was doing, and then like I don't know, putting that to the next level of the abuse of the X antibody card. You know what I'm saying? To the point people were like ban X antibody. We're getting eventually Chaosdramon X and BT12, and that's gonna make Machinedramon decks inherently just so much better. And just in general, like
it also
Magnamon
like
X.
up.
Magnamon X came out in BT9, right? Magnamon X is a great yellow card.
Yeah, that was BT9.
Great in the armor deck, but you can also use it in like other variants of yellow decks because I've seen it happen. I've seen people play it. You could also run it in.
You about to make me start homebrewing again.
Yeah, you can put it in what's it called? Blue Flare. That was like an option. run the X antibody in it. Digivolve because that deck doesn't have a real level 6. So you go into there and boom, right? There was so many different things. No, Omni X came out in BT10. Yeah, never mind. But yeah, I could see why he said that was the go-to set, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, it also gives the option now, though, for Bandai to give direct support to any older archetype by just creating an X antibody line for it. We saw them do it for Beelzemon. I don't think Beelzemon had like a real X antibody line before, and Bandai created it, right?
No,
at the bare minimum,
they had it. No, that's been around. Like Ibmon X,
they had a Beelzemon
X. That's all been around.
X? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They had the Balmon X too.
Yeah,
I swear one of them was added.
I thought so too.
it might have been Bale. That's probably one, but I feel like I've heard Balemon X before.
That's what I think. I think it's Balemon X, either that one or Impmon X.
But yeah,
I mean, I think overall though, it was really good for the game. Like a lot of people are gonna have their gripes about it because like, the X antibody cards are broken, or whatever. They're only broken until your favorite deck gets support from it, and then you're gonna be excited, aren't you? You know what I mean?
Like we're seeing what X antibody cards are doing for future decks. Beelzemon, even with the starter deck, it's fringe, maybe tier 1.
In the hands of someone like Mark Sonnen,
we'll see.
It's tier 1.
We'll see. Like I said, in the upcoming region, see what it does. But like the X antibody cards for BG12 makes the deck just go whew, you know,
insane.
So like
cracked.
All I'll say is I am patiently waiting for the day that they say, all right, guys, here is Xamon, X antibody.
That's a fact.
Xamon as a card is already not busted, but it's really good. How do you trump that?
Yo, wait till I get my Imperial X antibody.
Like, that doesn't exist.
Not yet.
Not yet. Which is the one thing I like about Digimon. Comparing to something like Pokemon, it's like, well, something doesn't exist, but
it can
just as easily make it exist, right? Exactly.
Yep.
Just like when Takaro created Guiamon.
Like, could you think about how fire an Imperial Digimon X antibody would be?
I don't think they would do it for Dragon mode. I think they do it for Fighter mode.
I think they do it for both because Bandai wants me to be happy.
So. Oh my god! I just remember, like, how do we forget about Grandis X? Like, you know what I'm saying? Insect decks were irrelevant until Grandis popped up.
Yeah. I like BT9. I like it for the fact of like one thing, like Dan, this is something that Dan loves about the game and that I've adopted. I love the lore in the card game. If y'all haven't watched I watched the X Anti movie for the first time, like about the time that BT9 was coming out.
With the PlayStation 1 graphics.
Yeah, with the weird PlayStation
so
1
nostalgic,
graphics.
Bro. So nostalgic.
Bro, like that, like watching the movie and then I looked at like BT9, I was like, wow, like this really encompasses what the X antibody was. Like, yes, X antibody decks are inherently broken. Like they are really, really good. But that's because in the freaking movie, like they didn't have a choice because Omnimon was out here slaughtering fools. Omnimon and Galamon were out here slaughtering fools.
When the other Royal Knights show up to try and stop Omnimon, he's like, I'm just gonna kill y'all. I don't even care, bro.
Yo, that's a fad. And the crazy part, it was like light work for him too, being an Omnimon X. It was just like you're getting body, ain't nothing you can do about it.
Like
honestly, if you guys don't know like the lore behind like the Royal Knights, like bro, they are busted.
Yeah,
busted, bro.
Especially
I heard
Omega
that
and Alphamon and Euphorus.
I heard that the 7 great demon lords though, with what's that one called?
The fusion Ogedamon.
Oh yeah, Ogudamon.
Yeah,
that they body like that would body the Royal Knights. That's what I heard in terms of
and that's I think it's in the comics, manga, wherever it is. That happens. They get bodied, and then what came to save them? Jesmon GX.
Of course. Oh yeah, that's right. That's the lure of Jesmon GX.
That's why GX happened, because they were like, Jesmon, we know you're the future. we need you. So Jesmon GX stands for Jesmon Gankumon X. You know what I'm saying? So and then it was like Jesmon GX was also kind of like the they all gave him, it was like a Goku moment. They all gave him their power to him, and then that's how they bodied him, something like that.
Everyone, send me your power.
Essentially.
Nah, I love the Digimon. I love seeing that type of lore in the card game. I mean, look back at BT5 when Dan said Armageddon stopped level 7s when digivolving effects. Dan, what was Armageddon doing out here against Omnimon?
He slaughtered Omnimon, unfortunately.
Bro, it's just the whole card game is just it's a really big love story to the fans, right? Like, that's why some people, they get so butthurt, and I'm like, it's just, I'm sorry you're not a true fan. Like, some things are just really a love story to the fans is what it really boils down to. And it's nice of Bandai, or not Bandai, because it's not Bandai. It's nice that the card creators, when they sit down and they make these cards, they have such a love for the franchise that it's not just like, here, I'm designing cards. They're like, where did this appear from? For example, Blast Digi-Evolution. We've seen it in Digimon World 3. We've seen it in the anime. We've seen it in they had V-Pets centered around Blast Digi-Evolution. It's basically in all the medias. So the idea of Blast Digi-Evolution being a counter so that in your time of need, you can blast Digivolve into Metal Greymon or War Greymon. Like, that's just cool, bro. Like, forget about, is this good for the game? Like, let's put that aside. Let's look at how cool the idea of these mechanics are.
100%. I'll give you a quick example off the top of the head because it's the easiest one to think about. Venmon Galacticmon, right? Digimon World 3. Digimon World 3's villain is Venmon. It took 2 Venmon to make Snatchmon. To make Destramon took 4. To make Galacticmon, it was like hundreds or something like that. It was something like crazy. But like, you get the example because you need 8 Venmon really for the perfect stack. And I'm not mistaken, it might have been 8, but like, that's the idea of it. And that's why you're allowed to run 50 Venmon, because in the game, Venmon was running around and cloning himself and was like, you get a Venmon, you're a Venmon, I'm changing you into a Venmon. We're all gonna be Venmon together so we could become Galacticmon, so we can take over Earth and then fuse with Earth and then become Gaiamon. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just crazy. And so it's like, it's so cool to see that in like TCG form, like that.
I mean, I look at, like, I don't necessarily care for BT12 as a set. Like, I'm hyped for it, don't get me wrong, but like, I'm personally looking forward to BT13 because Royal Knights. But like, even the idea of BT12, like, you look at what is the deck that really beats the best deck in format for BT12, being Hunters. Like, what deck reliably, what deck reliably beats Hunters?
Well, Raid War Grey was really good. I don't know how it's gonna be without like the BT11 Greymon X now. We'll see. But Raid War Grey was really good. Quartzmon
shuts down the deck.
Well,
Quartzmon funny enough that good.
But Quartzmon ran in Hunters too.
That's what I'm saying. It's funny that Quartzmon is ran in Hunters.
In Hunters. So it's like,
the deck runs its own counter, which is when you know it's a good card. Like Dexmon.
Yeah, correct.
But like, what card beats Quartzmon? Freaking Arrestor Dramon and Superior mode.
Yeah, because they can attack while
unsuspended. It's so cool. I love the idea of that. I mean, let's look forward to BT13. Royal Knights. Yggdrasil is your egg. Yggdrasil says, "Come to me, my Royal Knights," at the start of every turn. And then once you assemble enough Royal Knights, the leader of the Royal Knights comes out and says, "Come forth, the Royal Knights," and all of a sudden, you're getting rammed by Omnimon, Taurusmon, Alphamon, Craniumon, Chessmon, Gankumon, Magnamon. Like, they're all just popping out. And you're like, I can't do anything about that because that's just the power of the Royal Knights.
Facts.
It is kind of funny that whole deck basically gets shut down by a rookie that just says like don't carry play costs. But
you know what's even funnier about it? That the deck's out to that rookie is Marcus.
Is playing Marcus, which just punches a Digimon in the face.
100%.
It's funny.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that's great. Oh,
So
yeah, that's another thing. Sorry, go ahead, Dan.
No, I was gonna ask a question, but go ahead.
Nah, that's just the last thing. The last thing I'll say, Shine Greymon. We previously had it as, when it hits the field, you suspend all your tamers, you DP reduce. Now, we have Shine Greymon that says, here's a Marcus. Marcus is going to punch you. If Marcus dies, Marcus recovers. So Marcus doesn't die. I'm going to punch you. Then I'm gonna burst Digivolve and I'm gonna let Marcus punch you some more. like the idea of Marcus being an actual Digimon and being able to actually win games is funny because of what Marcus was out here doing in Savers.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's the same thing with like hybrids, right? That's why they did what they did, right? The tamer were Digivolving into the Digimon to battle and stuff. Same thing in the TCG, basically.
Agreed. But yeah, what was your question?
I was gonna say, since we talked about our favorite sets, what was our least favorite set in the Digimon TCG?
Least favorite.
BT6.
Really?
I hate Gobblebond. I like this set.
But you were playing so much. You were playing Jessmon. You were playing.
I know. I took my first official tournament dub with Jessmon during BT6, but I have such an abhorrent hate for. I hate Gobblebond more than I hate Blue Hybrid because there was no counterplay to Gobblebond.
I don't think you've played against Blue Hybrid enough. I'll be honest.
I don't think you played against Gobblebond enough.
He was retired during that time frame.
Yeah, you didn't play against Blue Hybrid enough.
I know. I played Yellow Hybrid. I didn't need to worry about Blue Hybrid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we can, trust me, like, I can make you play Blue Hybrid for like 3 months straight if you want. Like,
I mean, I'd play Yellow Hybrid, but here's the thing, right? What do you do against a deck that at the time, because the only blocker that you had that was a level 6 was Craniumon, and I think Skull Mammothmon or something like that, which was feasibly unplayable. What do you do when you're at 3 security? They have a Matt Ishida on the field. They're a blue deck, so they have Hammer Sparks. And you know that at any moment in time, Gobblebond will come down. They're going to swing for 3 checks. And then they're either going to hybrid you for game or something else. Like they had another rookie to swing. Like there was no counterplay to that. You can't put anything on field because everything is getting bottom decked by Gobblebond. I hated that. The only thing that I reliably played was Seccon with Dynasmon to help me survive that onslaught. Otherwise, you got to kill them first.
I mean, yeah, no, Gobblebond sucked. Definitely one of my least favorite decks to play against. I played against it a lot, but I don't know. I played so much Jessmon that time. I played Agubond, which is like still one of my all-time favorite decks. I have that deck complete max rarity. Like, I love Agubond. Beelstar came out on that set. Like, I played Beelstar a lot. Like, there's just a lot of, like, Gobblebond sucked to play against, but there's a lot of fun in that set, I think.
That's fair.
For me. My least favorite, I'd probably go BT7, actually. I really wasn't the biggest fan of hybrid format. I didn't, like, particularly hate it by any means. Like, I've liked almost every set, like, a bunch. Just Frontier's my least favorite season probably for Digimon, so I just didn't care about it as much as other sets. I did have a lot of fun playing Yellow Hybrid because then I could play some absolute janky decks with it.
Yeah, you were.
But like probably my overall least favorite set just from like a design standpoint. I just don't like Frontiers. What about you, Dan?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure it was that one too. Because I liked set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just remember getting to. I liked 6 a lot. I remember getting to 7. I was like, I don't think I'm buying much of the set because I was like, Like I enjoyed it. I think halfway through it, like enjoyed it more than I thought I would, because I thought that set was kind of boring in a sense to me too. Like the secret rares was like cool, but at the same time they were like
They were all stuff for the
because it was just
the hybrids.
I think it was just Lucamon SM and then
Susanoo.
Fallen and Susanoo, yeah. So like again, I wasn't really like, I was like, this is cool, but at the same time I didn't like care about it as much. And then BTA happened. I was like, yeah, boy, this is hype. This is Black Hole Raymond time. And then whatever else came out was like super cool. Oh, that's when they started doing dual color. That's what it was. So I was super hyped for that.
Oh yeah.
And then after that, and then once BTA happened, I was like, I enjoyed every set that came out since, honestly. That was, so I have to say BT7, because I just remember going to BT7, I was like, this set is kind of to me. And yeah, BT7's gotta be my least favorite, honestly.
I think it would be the same for a lot of people, because I think a lot of people generally like Frontier the least, because it's the most oddball Digimon series out of all of them, other than Appmon, which
I don't even mind.
Appmon.
Yeah, and I don't really mind the concept of Frontier. But like I just remember as a kid, like I just did not care.
It's not the same as seeing like Agumon and Gabumon.
Tamers was just so good.
Yeah,
like,
and then
like
it went
Tamers
to Frontier,
was just so good.
Yeah, trying to follow up on
Frontier.
Tamers was difficult.
Yeah,
I think the issue is also because like you lose that dynamic between Tamer and partner Digimon. And so you're just since the Tamer is the Digimon in a sense, there's no interaction. There's no like, a lot of times it's about like the friendship, the gain of trust. Because sometimes usually they don't trust each other because they don't, especially with the humans, they don't trust the Digimon more because they don't know them. They're like, what the F is this and blah blah blah. And then like you gain like the story of like their partnership and how they grow together and stuff. And that was the cool part about it in comparison to maybe like other monster type shows, because you had one partner that went to champion, ultimate, mega, blah blah blah, and comparison to others. I mean, Pokemon, they had like partnership, but it was different because it was more it was, I won't say adult-ish, but like it was more it was definitely more adult-ish in the sense of like how the story progressed in the show, you know what I'm saying? Like it got some serious deep ass shit sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like some of the things you as a kid you're like, you probably like but then when you get older you respect what happens in it. Like to me, like the growth of Tai, right? From season 1 to season 2 Try was such a like humanizing factor to him, because it was like back as a kid he was like, yo, all gun ho, yo, we're gonna go fight, we don't care what happens. And then Try, he was like, damn, we can't really fight out here because we're gonna hurt some people. That city, that building might, like get crushed and hurt other people. Like we need to like think about what our play is. And then you got dumbass Matt. It was like, we don't care about people. We need what's the tie at that I knew a lot. Like, yo, you didn't grow up.
Even Ty's growth from season 1 to season 2, where he's trying to show Davis how to be a leader.
Exactly.
Right? He's trying to show Davis like this isn't how you lead a group. Like even that character growth. But beyond that, like again, I don't mind like the concept where people digivolve into Digimon, like or whatever, because like we had Biomerge and Tamers, but that was so much better though, because like Dan said, you get that actual
partner
connection.
Digimon,
And also like I feel like you miss out a lot on just like I didn't care when like when someone digivolved into a new form in Tamers, I was or Frontier, I was like whatever, like I don't care.
But
like every other season you're so excited to see what the next champion's gonna be, the mega, like all that stuff.
100%. It was like cool to see. Just for Tamer, for example, right? You saw like example of like Rena and Renamon, right? In the beginning, it was super like she was super like business with a Renamon. We were
Rika.
like, hey yo, Rika, that's her name. Oh my god, I forgot.
I was thinking, I was like, Rena. Wait, all first like, Rena?
Yeah, no, you're right, Rika. I knew it said her R, I just kind of forgot. But you saw she was like super business with Renamon. And she was like,
go defeat her.
Yo, exactly. She was like all about building strength. And it was like, by getting strong, we kill Digimon, this and other, and we're getting rid of them from the. But you saw time grow because of her like partnership with Renamon, with her partnerships with Takato and Henry, that she like grew to love Renamon as, you know, as her partner. And then you saw like that's kind of why they like biomerged, right? That was like their essence, like the love that you really have for her, and you saw her like her character evolve, like with her like family and stuff, and like, you know what I'm saying. So like these are the things that Digimon brought in with having, you know, the partner Digimons.
Bro, speaking of biomerge, yet another thing that they have put into the card game that is
facts.
freaking awesome. Takato next set, for those of you who don't know, first of all, we finally get a native memory tamer in Gallantmon, which is super nice. But
super needed.
Even better, right, is the fact that his main effect, by placing Growlmon, War Growlmon from your trash, and this tamer at the bottom of your Giamon, Digivolve that Digimon into a Gallantmon, paying its Digi-Evolution cost. It is Warp Digivolve Giamon, but it's Biomerge, you know?
Yep.
Here's Takato, here's Growlmon, here's War Growlmon, Gallantmon comes out. It's so
even
cool.
spicier. You get the Blitz still.
Ah, yes.
Heck yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I'm so excited.
As long as you have the other Takato on the board, right? You have to have the other Takato on board. Yeah,
yes, yeah.
I can't wait to play freaking Gallantmon next set. I know it's not going to be
hey,
like,
man, we got our Ulti Cup Arts. We're going to be fancy.
And,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it comes with a fire alt art for that tamer too.
Agreed.
The tamer is fire.
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I know how I speak about cardboard crack, but Gallantmon really is like one of my favorite Digimon, so I might end up buying the Ultimate Cup.
What is wrong with you? Did you? What did you just say? You're gonna buy an Ultimate Cup Gallantmon?
People are selling the whole line for like $1,000. I'm not gonna buy it now, no time soon. But like, they're selling it for like $1,000, and I'm like, if I can maybe get it for like the entire line for like $700-800, like I might just do that.
You know, I really,
I would just wait on that.
I can't even talk, bro, because I have a stupid absolute max rarity Mastodon deck with a gold super rare now. So like, who might even say anything, bro?
It's just
if you really want to buy this, I would one try.
I would wait on price.
Yeah, no, I'm not buying it anytime soon.
And two, wait until like the end of the ulti cuts where there's plenty full of them, and then try to buy them. Then.
Yep. Okay. I'd wait even longer. Look at this stuff for Imperial, like the Ultimate Cups from last year, bro. All those cards are so cheap now. You know, like so cheap. I mean, the fighter mode is still really expensive. I think the fighter mode's from like it's still like $1,000 though.
Yeah, it's
because that's top 8, I think it was for that, or top 4.
But like the XVmons, they're $75 a piece. Damn, am I about to buy 4 XVmons?
Wow, is the jamming one too?
Yeah,
it's the jamming one.
Go look. Go look on Facebook first. See if anybody's selling for, and see if they'll take like, I don't know,
80%,
200, 250.
Maybe.
That's how I would do it. Because that's what
right now.
Because that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wait. Like I'm definitely gonna wait. But like seeing them sell the entire line for $1,000, except Crimson Mode, because I'm just gonna have to settle with the fact that I'll never get Crimson Mode. Because Crimson Mode's gonna be like, I mean, freaking Paladins.
That was a winner. That was the winner card, right?
Yeah, that's the winner card.
Yeah. So I'll probably never get Crimson Mode unless I win it. So at some point during Ultimate Cup season, I might. Well, I mean, I already went Meta Sheep when I played Bloom. I just sucked. But I'm really gonna have to try to win one because I want one of those so bad.
I wish Paladin mode was better though. Now that we're just talking about cards.
Same.
What a bum secret, honestly.
It needs its effect. They tried to balance it too much.
Yeah, they should just let it full send, honestly.
And it's also not searchable. It's not
searchable
free.
now. With BT12, it's searchable.
What is it? What is
The
BT12
the Vmon and Wormmon search for Imperial Dramon.
Oh, okay. It wasn't searchable before because they only search for free, and it's a freaking vaccine.
Yeah.
So it's like I can't even reliably play the card because it's not blue. I can't play blue memory. It's white. I can't search for it off of Vmon.
It just costs too much.
It costs too much, yeah. I mean, no. Like, I'm fine with it costing that much, but like the idea of the deck is that like if you ever have to get into Paladin mode, you probably weren't winning anyways.
Yeah, well, that ends. Honestly, it's just so not good now because the new fighter mode just basically just does Paladin mode shenanigans.
Yeah.
It's just not good. It's but BT8 had really not good secrets, right? The other secret was Creepymon.
Yeah, it's Creepymon.
Yeah, BT8 probably had the worst secrets we've seen.
As a whole was fire.
They're both good cards. They're just not like good secrets.
Damn, were those really our
Although
worst
there's
secrets?
that Vdramon that was a secret. From
I was gonna say that's
right.
That's an absolutely
but that was like
trash
that was
secret.
BT1 though. So like,
yeah, that card is awful.
Yeah,
It's actually it's not
worst.
awful, but the fact that it's a secret and it digivolves for 3 is just ridiculous. If it digivolved for 2, it'd probably be better.
Yeah, no,
Because it does have an all turns plus 1k, which is actually not bad.
That's definitely the worst secrets. I'm looking at all the other secrets, and they blow them out the water.
yeah, because BT10 was half bad because I think the Xiaomon King Mo was.
You can't say it was half bad because the only reason that set is still expensive is because of deck spawn. Like, you only buy the set.
No,
for
that's
deck spawn.
BT9. That's BT9.
Yeah,
not BT10.
Oh shit! Yeah. Sorry, that was Jesmon GX. I'm thinking
BT10.
of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is still
But Jesmon GX is really good.
yeah.
What was the other secret for BT1? Was it just
Metal Greymon.
really
the one I hold near and dear to my heart. I love that Metal Greymon.
I love that card.
that card is fire.
Swing for 4 checks at like 11, 12k. Yeah, I lose 5 memory, but I'm getting like 4 checks in.
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah,
I
you can
would
kill
run it in like my OG like OTK War Greymon deck, and like if I
Yep.
had nothing else, if I had the starter deck one, I would just F it. I'm swinging.
Yeah, that card's fire.
As our last topic, before we wrap this up, I just want to. I know like Dan and Mike both love Agumon. I love Guillemon, like as much as I love Agumon. But looking at this Metal Greymon just makes me like, I really want to go play some Wargrave Tribal because just I mean, Agumon.
Just play some Machine Dramon. You can play that in Machine Dramon. That plus 3k is brutal.
It's not the same as Digivolving.
I get it.
It's in relation to what Darian said in Discord that like Gabu and about Agu and Gabu being the face of the franchise. Digimon's weird, because everybody who knows Digimon, like if you grew up with Digimon, you know Agu and Gabu. That is who you know. And anytime they push things like, for example, they pushed the card game, and Agumon is pretty much. Agumon probably has the most promos. He was also like the one holding up the card. Let's see, Agumon and promo. Agumon is also in every color. Agumon has 1, 2, 3 different promos, but like 3 different reprints for 1 promo.
Yeah.
He's got promo cards. The entire Greymon has a promo. Like, I don't think you really.
I think Gamamon has more promos at this point, or is the same level.
Yeah, probably. You know what? I would say that's true.
I know
just because of the way that it.
We don't have a purple Agumon, do we?
We do.
You have a
It's
fake
the
Agumon
fake
expert.
Yeah, but it's not actually. It doesn't count.
It's still an Agumon.
It's an Agumon. It's like Black Agumon that we don't actually have. We don't actually have a black
We have-
Agumon. We just have an Agumon.
We don't have a
that's
black
flat.
metal. We don't have a black Metal Garurumon
Nope.
either.
Yeah,
Which
exactly.
I mean, we
is
have
annoying.
we have Snow
We have a
Agumon
black
as
Metal
blue.
Garurumon. It's just not
Yeah.
called Black Metal Garurumon.
Snow Agumon's blue. We have the green
Snow
Agumons.
Agumon.
We have yellow Agumons. The yellow Agumon is the Savers
Shine
one.
Bushy.
variant.
We've also
and
got Bushy.
Yeah, Bushy Agumon.
That card, goated, one of the best cards ever.
Facts. And
Bushy
that
for
OR
getting
is fire
GG.
too.
Yeah.
Bushy has an alt.
Yeah. The,
Yes, an
it was a
event
regional
pack old,
promo.
I think.
Yeah.
Regional promo.
It's fire.
One of them.
Oh,
Yeah, it was event pack.
Yeah, that is
3,
fire.
I think it was.
Event pack 2 there. Oh, only
my
$10
bad.
now.
Only
No,
$10.
I remember when that was
It
$75.
used to be really expensive. It used to be a
it's like
really
75.
expensive card.
Yo, Mike, why you just said that, bro? Now I gotta go buy this.
Bro, and it is such a good ult too, bro. It's
Facts.
so fire. Look that ult up.
It is.
What
It really
else?
is.
What colors we have? Black. We have black Agumons. So yeah. Every color has them.
Every color.
And then
has it,
purple
yeah.
has the fake.
Fake Agumon
Agumon
expert. But yeah, no, what I was saying, just because like what Darian said, like I understand like the push for Agu and Gabu every set seems unwarranted. But like
Yeah, I've been saying that. It's a little too much.
it is a little too much. But at the end of the day, it's what Bandai expects everybody to know, both old players and new players alike. And you have your old like the people who have been into Digimon for a minute, who will always appreciate, like Dan and Mike. As much as Mike might say it's too much, if you hand Mike Greymon tribal support on a silver platter,
I mean, I don't mind. Like I don't mind getting Agumon all the time, stuff like that. It's just I wish that they were for different decks, right? Like I wish if they were gonna keep giving me Agumon support, then give me some Agumon support. Give me like a new tie. Give me a new
Agumon will
Greymon for
never
that
get
deck.
any more support.
Give me, like yeah, because they're done promoting the movie.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
But like if you're gonna keep giving me stuff for those archetypes or that Digimon in general, like spread it out. Like give me an Agumon that just I don't know that's for like a completely different deck. Or give me an actual purple Agumon that trashes or something on play. Or give me, like a green. Oh, there actually is green Agumon that do
Yeah, I told
things.
you.
it's
There's
our
two of them.
Tyrannomon Agumon.
Like give me a blue Agumon that trashes the stuns or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Like,
Snow Agumon.
That's
Snow Agumon, yeah. But you know what I mean? But stop giving me all the stuff that's just for like a Greymon deck. Or at least not like a traditional Greymon deck. Like we've got yellow War Grey. That's a really cool deck. Like that's a really cool mega. I feel like you could give that deck support,
Agreed.
I just wish they wouldn't
I think that's the thing in the game as a whole. There's a lot of old decks that at a certain point they don't need to be making, like obviously they're going to be making new cards for like entirely new decks and archetypes, but we from BT10 all the way to BT12, you could basically still continue playing cross. We don't need, we're getting to a point in the game where we don't need entirely new decks for the entire set. Half of the set can be new cards. Half of the set can give us support for all these old archetypes.
Mhm.
And that's why it was so infuriating what they did with BT13. That, Lord Knight and Dynus, not only were they not yellow, they weren't even synergizable with their deck strategies. Like the only thing that was that you can maybe do is play the Dynasmon. Or is it the Lord Knight? One of them recovers a Lucamon from trash. And because you played like a
that's
1 or
Dynus.
2 Lucamon in Lord Knight. Like that's
And Lord
it's not
Nightmare
even worth
Lord
it.
Nightmare can search the Lucamon.
Yeah, so it's like, really, Bandai? Like, I understand, like, you had to work within the color restrictions of the set so that every color gets an equal chance. But
But they could have made it yellow purple.
yes, they really could.
They could have done more with it. Like I don't know, because we've seen them do that. Like in BT12, War Greymon is not red black. He's black red. So
red.
he counts. You know what I mean? Like they could have done things differently. They just chose not to.
Shine in
Yeah, 100%.
BT12 is red yellow.
yellow.
Yellow. It's yellow red.
It's yellow
It
red.
counts as-
So then in BT13, it's red yellow. It's a minor difference, but like it does matter, you know. So, especially if like we ever get cards that like nullify one side of color restrictions, like you never know. But we're coming up on 140, so let's wrap it up for this episode today. Any parting words for our listeners, guys?
Come play in our Discord with us. I'm always down for some games. At me in the Discord. If I'm around, I'll hop on and play. Like we said early in the podcast, we're down to teach people how to play the game too. So don't think we're coming at you or anything. Mostly it's just jokes if I say purple players are slow. I be taking hella long with my turns when I play test, so I get it completely. But let's keep it in play testing though. You know what I mean? Like let's
Mike
keep
be
it
like
to the
this.
play testing.
And I'm
Well,
like, Mike,
to be fair,
there, bro.
the deck I've been playing, bro, all the cards are so shiny in it. I be getting distracted lately. That's the issue.
Sometimes I'll be like, yo, Mike, did your camera freeze, bro? Yeah, bro, I'm still here.
Yeah, all right. To be fair, there's other reasons why I be taking so long when I'm at home, but that's regardless.
But all right. Anything from you, Dan?
No, thank you for listening.
He said thank you for listening.
I told y'all I'd say it one more time. So if you're not part of the Discord, join the Discord. Anyways, that's it for today's episode of DigiPod, the digital podcast. Thank you guys for listening, and until we talk to you guys the next time, peace out.
Peace.
Catch you all on the next one.